Hi, welcome to Knits Up. I am Mindy, your hostess, and as you may have heard, a lot of podcasters are getting notes from Blip TV saying that their accounts are being deleted, etc., etc. Right now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to be going to a YouTube format and then trying to get a feed burner RSS off of that. We'll see how that goes. I've got some technical work to do on that before I can figure it out. Or possibly hosting the files on my Google Drive and then going from there and creating a feed. It's a lot of technical jargon that you don't really need to know about. But for now, you can find me on YouTube. I'll always, what I'm going to do from now on is just put the episode into a Ravelry thread when I announce that I've recorded a new episode. So you can always go to the Ravelry group and find the episode that you're looking for. I'm not sure if I'm transferring all of the old episodes or not. I may just say done because there's over 60 of them. We'll see how that goes. But I do have space for that. And there is also a Libsyn account that does some hosting. I'm not sure where I'm going, but YouTube seems to be the easiest for now. And you can subscribe to those, so it seems to make it a little bit easier. It's been about a month since I've recorded. I've made some progress on some things and not on others. As you know, I am not a monogamous knitter. That does not make for good podcasting content other than, here's a project you haven't seen in 6 months, and it's still not done. But it does make an opportunity to show you what I've been working on. One thing I have been working on rather monogamously is lapgan. My church hosts basically a community service day where instead of having a full-fledged church service, they go out in the community and do service work. Well, one of the choices was knit or crochet. Some of them were knitting and crocheting hats. Some were people cutting out fleece hats for distribution. I'm making a lapgan so that somebody goes to one of the county-run nursing home, and when it's somebody's birthday, they take out a lapgan out of the closet and give it to the resident. So our church has a yarn stash in one of the closets that anybody who wants to knit or crochet with said yarn can do so, as long as they do it for the charities for the church. So I did this. It's a really simple lapgan. It's about a 36 inches square. It's made out of Lion Brand homespun, and you may recognize the pattern. It's the old dishcloth pattern. Started with the orange, and then when I get to the longest point, I just transitioned to the ivory color, and I'm almost at the end of the ivory color. I think I started with 7 stitches because I liked the look of that. It made a little bit squarer corner for me. So I'm almost done. I'm doing this on a US size 11, which I have no idea what that size is, but it's a US size 11. It's rather a large diameter. I know it's bigger than an 8.0 because I think 8.0 is 10 or 10 and a half, something like that. These are some Susan Bates needles I bought at the dollar store locally. I haven't been back there lately, but so this is almost done, and this is from probably 3 weeks ago. We started it at church, so that is almost done. I am also working on, and pardon me while I bend, I'm also working on the spring sweater that I've been knitting. And of course, I'm in the middle of a row, which is never fun. But let's see if we can find something. This wonderful shoebox to put in the back so you can see the pattern. that this is making, because it's a lace type sweater. Yeah, that's not helping too much. Let's try that way. There we go. It's making that sort of a pattern. That sort of a pattern. And the yarn I'm using is Deborah Norville Serenity Garden in the Crocus colorway. And this is a Premier Yarns pattern that I'm using. It's a free pattern on their website, and it's called the Lacey Arches Cardigan. I am doing it on size 6, US size 6, which I believe are 4.0 millimeter. And it's going very well. They are, I'm using a circular needle. This is the back of it, and then I'll be knitting the fronts and a couple of sleeves. They're 3/4 length sleeves, but hopefully I'll have that done by August, which is, again, I mentioned my class reunion, high school class reunion is then. Other things I'm working on. Pair of socks. Very exciting. We have socks. Also have a purchase. And of course, the sock went AWOL. There it is. I have a new exciting purchase. I finally caved and bought a sock blocker. And it was with a coupon, and Hobby Lobby of all places had them. So I only bought one. I don't block my socks. I throw them in the washer and the dryer. If they can't make it through that, I'm sorry, they're doomed in my household. This is a sock I've been working on for a while. This has actually been done for quite a while. It's Kurtzer on your toes with aloe, fingering weight, and the weekend colorway, weekend circus colorway. But it's all kinds of weird colors. But that gives you an idea. I do mine with a heel flap. And then that little line there, gusset. I am starting the second one, and they are going to be fraternal. So the stripes are not going to line up because I only have a bit of yarn left. I didn't want to sacrifice this much yarn to make them match. I don't care. They're under my jeans in the winter. When I make socks, I do try and match them up, but these I really didn't care about because, frankly, it's cold in the winter. And I'm using these are on a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter, and I'm doing a magic loop method. I think these are Hayahayas, if I remember correctly. And those are living in a bag. Next thing. Take the bag, yummy bag. I've been working on, of course I drop all my stitches and as I'm about to pick up said project. Isn't that always the way? So we'll pretend I didn't drop my stitches. And I'm truly amazing and wonderful at everything I do, and voila. So what I'm working on is a sock. These had started out as a pair of socks on a size 0 2.0 circular, 2 socks on 1 circ. And I was dropping too many stitches because the yarn is dark. This is Universal Yarns Ditto that I bought at Webb's forever ago. So that's what it looks like. Universal Yarns Ditto. I was having problems with stuff falling off the needles, stitches falling off the needles, just not good stuff. Now this time they fell off because I was pulling them out of the bag and wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. I'm starting the heel flap. They're a little, it's a 72 stitch sock because they're on a smaller diameter of needles than I usually use. These are new to me needles. I don't know if you can see those really well. Let's try. One time you want something. Try them against red, I guess. These are carbons needles. No. Yes. Not carbons. Thorn. Wow. Blackthorn needles. These are blackthorn double points. They're made out of carbon. They're 100% carbon all the way down. They kind of feel, it's the texture of, if I felt a charcoal briquette, that's all I can describe them as, or an activated filter. But they're the kind of carbon that they make planes out of and high-tech stress things. So I bought these on sale. It's a set of 5 double points for $15.99 when Webb's was having their anniversary sale. They're normally about $35, so I wasn't real thrilled to try and not buy them on sale. But I find they're pretty good for this yarn because typically when I'm using them, they've got a little bit of stickiness on them, so they are not, the stitches don't slide off of them. I had been using an Addy circular. This is like I think it's a lace circular that's a 2.0, and it's very slick. It's really slick. There's brass on it. And my stitches kept falling off, and I was having trouble seeing the needles and the whole bit. So it was kind of like, okay. Let's see what else have I switched to. I've also put the other sock on new to me needles. This is kind of going into enabling. I went out to Rochester last weekend. Yeah, last weekend, because my birthday is the 31st, and I decided that I wanted to go out there for the day. It's about an hour and a half away from Syracuse on a summer day. Really pretty scenery. The thruway goes right from Syracuse. It's an interstate, goes right from Syracuse to Rochester, so it's easy driving. I have OnStar in my car, so anywhere I wanted to go, I could go. And what I ended up buying was a set of these, which are the old version of the collage square needles, US size 0, 2.0. These are different. They've switched manufacturers. These used to be manufactured overseas. I couldn't tell you exactly where, but they used to be manufactured overseas. They are now manufactured in the United States in a slightly different formulation. These do have, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, there's slight etch in there. The size and everything is stamped on them. Focus. But you really can't see it because it's blurry. But instead of being round needles, they're literally square. They're made out of metal, and I'm trying them out to see how I like them. So far they seem pretty good. My stitches are very uniform. They don't hurt my hands or anything like that, and they seem to be okay. They're pliable. They bend. They have a little bit of give, and they bend, but they're very, very light as well. So I'm trying out the blackthorn double points on one sock and these collage square needles on the other. So, and like I said, the collage The old ones retailed for about $14. I bought them for $7. And these I bought in Rochester at a Tuesday morning store. They're leftover stock from last year. Our Tuesday morning closed here about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And the closest one is in New Hartford, which is the east, but there's not really a lot in New Hartford. I don't really want to go there as a fun time, but I knew when I went to Rochester, I would be having fun and going there. And had lunch out and stuff like that. The other pair of socks I'm working on, since we're seeming to be on a sock kick, I don't know if I've gotten any progress on these since the last time I recorded. These are out of Knitpick Stroll in the Paisley multicolorway, and this is a 64 stitch around for each one. It's 2 socks on one, put it in frame, chick. 2 socks on one circular, US size 1, 2.25. They look like that. There's some pooling going on, and these are on, I think these are on the Hiya-Hiyas. I can't tell. The Hiya-Hiyas and the Addies are really similar. This might be the Addies. I think these might be the Addies because the Addie tips are heavier than the Hiya-Hiyas. And then those are just living like in a lingerie type bag that has a zipper in it. It just works. All my projects are like stuffed in little places, or kind of half done, and here, there, and everywhere. I've bought some yarn. I've bought some stuff, and we'll talk about, so this would be, well, I have spinning first, and then I have enabling. And pardon how I bend, and pardon all the crinkling, because we know how much we love crinkling. I've been working on one thing spinning, and I've got to unload this spindle pretty soon. This is Yak and Silk, I think. It's Yak and Silk. It's smooth and soft and lovely. I believe it's top. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. But I'm just spinning it on the Shocked spindle. This is the lightest one that Shocked makes. And it's just a top whirl spindle. It works really well. I'm getting stuff that's probably going to end up, I usually 2-ply my yarn. It'll probably end up as a DK or worsted, but it's winding up really nice, and there's a lot of variation in the color, even though you can't see it. The silk is sort of spinning out this whitish color, and the Yak is more of a darker brownish gray. So that's what I've been doing as far as spinning. Oh, and you think she's not done with the projects. Well, I would be. I also started another pair of socks because apparently I'm on a sock kick. These are out of a 64 stitch sock again, top from the cuff down. And this is all kinds of crazy pattern. I'm going to pull back so you can kind of see that. And this is a Deborah Norville yarn from Premier Yarns, and it's called Serenity Sock Weight. I've made socks out of this before. The color is called Spring Fling, and it is, let me tell you the content in just a second. It's 50% superwash merino, 25% rayon made from bamboo, and 25% nylon. So it's more about like a summerish, fallish weight. It's a lighter weight. And these I'm doing on Hiya-Hiya double points, 2.25 millimeter US size 1. But those are some crazy colors. I just like, they're cute. I want some lighter weight socks, so that's why I started those. Because I'm crazy. No more than any of the rest of you. I'm sure that everybody's got project after project going. Okay, maybe not everybody, just me. And then last night, yesterday afternoon, I decided I needed to go buy more yarn because it was on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I wanted to make just some footy socks. So I am making just some little ankle socks out of one skein of patent stretch yarn. I made socks out of this before. It was on sale for like $3.60 or something like that, and there was one skein left, so I thought, well, you'll make footy socks. And so I bought double point needles, 2.25 US size 1, and I'm just barely started on the cuff, doing a 2x2 rib. And just, these are Yarnology. I had a coupon for like 40% off, so it seemed a good way to go. So I've got that as well, because like I said, I don't have enough stuff here. And then I hit AC Moore was having a sale, or Joann's, must have been Joann's. And no, I bought the sock yarn at AC Moore. Red Heart, Heart and Soul. That's in the Berry Bliss colorway. It's just really cute. It looks cute. It's easy. This is, I believe, mostly wool. It's 70% superwash wool and 30% nylon. And these were on sale for like half price. I think they were like $2.50 or $3 a skein. But they're bright and cheerful, and I thought they were kind of cute. Then I was going by and saw, I've been looking at this online. There's 2 new blends from Premier Yarns that seem to be making the rounds around here. One is a cotton silk that's a worsted weight. That's really pretty. It's got like beads of color in it. And then there's this, which is called Cotton Fair. And I have no idea what this color is. But this is 52% cotton and 48% acrylic. And there's 317 yards in a ball. And it's on the yarn standards, it's a 2, which is basically a sport weight. For those of you who crochet, this would be the same weight as Red Heart Luster Sheen, which is a which is an 100% acrylic yarn. So there's some cute patterns. Premier, I think, has like 2 patterns for this that are on their website. One's for like a lace vest with like sleeves, and then there's like a 2-tone t-shirt. But the reason I got this was it was just really cute. I have a friend who knits, also crochets, and I thought these colors might be good for her. She likes turquoisey colors. So I'm just going to give her the balls of yarn and, you know, let her do with them what she wants. It's pretty. She can make washcloths out of them. She just said to me the other night that she's making washcloths because some of theirs have run out. But it's something to add to the yarn stash, and her birthday's in July, so I thought that might be a cute, cute something to keep her busy. And then I think the last thing that I bought locally is on a different trip to Hobby Lobby. I bought this yarn 2 reasons. I like the pattern on it, and I also liked the color of this. It's an acrylic yarn. There's 174 yards in this, and it's just pretty. It's called Aurora Borealis, and there's purples and blues. This is showing up more green than it actually is. These are more turquoisey colors. But then there's a really cute, just a sweater pattern on there that's really cute. And that color's called Tropical Pink, although there's not really, it's more of a purple than a pink to me, but it's just a pretty color. It looks like graffiti kind of yarn, if you're familiar with that technique. And then when I was also out in Rochester, I was crinkling again. I bought another set of the collage square needles. I bought, these are 5-inch ones. They're shorties, but they're in the US size 1, 2.25 millimeter. And again, square collage. And this is the old format. They were getting rid of stock. And again, I bought them at Tuesday Morning. Another thing I bought at Tuesday Morning was Susan Bates bamboo yarn. Not bamboo yarn, bamboo needles. These are US size 3 because the lentilla that I was working on, I lost one of the needles, so I needed a size 3, and I like the bamboo with it. These are probably too long for what I really need, but I'll use it. And they were $1.99, so you can't go wrong with that. And I think that Tuesday Morning was running some sort of a special with Takumi needles maybe this last week, so if you have a Tuesday Morning, check that out. And then they had some yarn that they were trying to basically get rid of because it's 100% wool. And it being summer, not many people are doing something with wool. This is Elizabeth Lavold designer wool. Wowzers. Designer's Choice wool. And I got 2 balls in like a turquoise color and 2 balls in a navy blue cobalt color. Actually, I can tell you what color they are. This is called Summer Sky. This is called Windsor Blue. So by the time they rang them up, they were $1.59 a ball, and there's 109 yards in each ball, so I can make a hat or something with them in the winter. I'm good with that. And then the last thing, I stopped at Village Yarn and Fiber in East Rochester. They are a full-service yarn shop. You may know them if you follow the blog or the website DizzySheep.com. They have specials, one special every day, and they usually only charge very minimal for shipping. But I was there, so I figured I would buy some stuff, and I did. This is their card. Village Yarn and Fiber. VillageYarnandFiber.com. They have spinning supplies and knitting and crocheting supplies. They have one of the best selections of yarn I think I've seen. If you knit socks, there's like bookcases full of yarn. They have a whole bunch of different designers and things, and they just work really well. One thing I bought was a 40-inch circular, the carbons. These are carbon, Knitter's Pride carbons. They have like a stainless steel tip. The shaft is carbon. So we'll try that and see how they work. And then the other things I bought are spinning fiber. One of them is something I've used before, which is Malabrigo Noob. It's 100% pure merino. This is 4 ounces, and the color is Lavanda, number 66, Lavanda. But it's got all sorts of blues and purples and sort of a grayish color in there. This is roving in a braid. And it's nice. There's a little bit of brown and stuff in it. They're my colors, definitely. I prefer those purples and blues. This is brighter. This is something I've never spun before, so that's why I bought it, and it was on sale at the time. I bought Mountain Colors, and this is 100% Targhee top. And this is 4 ounces, and the colorway is Lupin. There's a mountain flower that's called a lupin. But there's blues. The blues are very, very bright. Very, very bright blue. And purple, and there's a black in there, green, all sorts of colors. Give you the round the world look. So I have stuff to spin. I have stuff to knit. I have a sock blocker. I have many things. The Central New York Fiber Festival is supposed to be next weekend in Belkville. It's the 14th and the 15th. Just Google CNY Fiber Festival. You'll come up with it. I've been in previous years. They have anything you could possibly want. And there's a list of vendors that are there. They're having a fleece sale this year as well. I think this is the first year for the fleece sale, but you can go and check that out. And there's like all kinds of conditions of fleece, but they're making sure that, it's been cleaned and, is halfway decent. And the price is going to vary depending on whether it might be fleece that's great for felting, or it might be fleece that's great for, processing and making a fine sweater with. So you got to look and see. And they said one of the local guilds is running, will be there to help run the fleece sale. Everybody was there a couple of years ago, and I think this is the third one, maybe second or third one. And there's tons to do. There's food, but it's a small. It's not huge. It's not Rhinebeck, but there's still plenty of stuff to do. There's alpaca. There's Angora spinning. There's like a petting zoo. I think there's a petting zoo with fiber animals, that sort of thing. But if you really want to, it's a kind of a kid-friendly event. You can take the kids and they can see the animals and see the different things. They're going to have spinning demos, weaving demos, how to do different things. In the past, I know that Salt City Fiber and Yarn has gone. That's the local mill that somebody I used to knit with owns. She and her husband own it. And so if you have fleece that needs to be processed, she'd be a great person to get that spun up for you at their mill. They bought a farm, and now the mill is located out at the farm. And Susan's Spinning Bunny is going to be there. There's a whole bunch of yarn shops that are there. There's a whole bunch, like Pollywogs is going to be there. They're from Wayland, and I always buy the brown sheep remnants, the seconds from them. I'm still debating whether I want to go because, frankly, I've got a lot of stuff, and I don't really need that. And a friend of mine is having a birthday that day, and I would need to go down. Belkville's an hour and a half away, and then drive back, and then I'd be driving north. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be going, but I might. You never know. And just in case you're wondering, this is a sweater. This is out of TLC Cotton Plus, I think was what it was. This is an old pattern. It's a garter rib, and the pattern is Tea Time. And I'm only coming up with a woman's first name as Judith, but look it up on my Ravelry page and you'll find it. It's called Tea Time, T-E-A-M-E. TEE, I think, the tea time sweater. And it's a pattern that has multiple ways to do it. Do I have it? Pardon me. Okay, I could just have it. Designs by Judith. That's this pattern. You have to order a hard copy from her, or check your local yarn shop. It gives options for Aran, worsted, and DK weight with vest, sleeveless, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, a long sleeve, or a wrap collar. And it goes from sizes 32 to 58.5, depending on what you do. So there's like all these different options, and there's like a V-neck or a crew neck. It's a very versatile pattern. I think it was $7 or $8. So it's Designs by Judith, and it's tea time. It's a great pattern, and it gives you variations in the styling as well, like stockinette, the ribbing, like a checkerboard pattern. It's a really good pattern for just a plain sweater, and it works with a whole bunch of other yarn sizes, so that's why I use it. Plus, I've knit like 2 or 3 sweaters from that, and they always come out well, and they're comfortable. That's my main thing, is if I'm going to knit a sweater, it should be comfortable. So that's about it. I'm up to almost 37 minutes, and we'll see if I need to edit any of this down. If not, I should see you probably within 2 weeks. I will try and record more frequently, but it's hard with summer and the lab being incredibly busy. And again, there is a Ravelry group over on Ravelry, and you've been watching the Knits Up podcast, and I am Knitter CNY, otherwise known as Mindy. Have a great week, and if you have any questions about anything in the show, please feel free to post in the group and ask me a question. If you have questions about anything I've talked about, or you want me to talk about something I haven't covered, feel free. So have a great week, guys. Bye.